A poll by YouGov, a British international internet-based market research and data analytics firm, has found that almost twice as many Americans consider their newly elected president, Donald Trump, to be a dictator compared to Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky. Newsweek, an American weekly news magazine, reported this, citing the poll. Respondents were asked whether they consider Volodymyr Zelensky, Donald Trump, and Vladimir Putin to be dictators. The poll revealed that 41% of participants view Trump as a dictator, slightly fewer than the 45% who do not. Another 14% of respondents were uncertain about whether to label him a dictator. When participants were asked if they considered Zelensky a dictator, as Trump had claimed, 22% said yes, while 45% said no. A more significant portion, 33%, were unsure. The gap is also noticeable along party lines. 80% of Republicans believe that Trump is not a dictator, while 68% of Democrats are sure of the opposite. Another 14% of respondents found it difficult to answer. When it came to Zelensky, 22% agreed with the statement that he is a dictator, 45% disagreed, and 33% were undecided. Among Democrats, 63% believe that Zelensky is not a dictator, and only 15% think otherwise. Republicans are divided, 36% are undecided, 31% say no, 33% yes. The YouGov poll, conducted on February 19, involved 4,071 Americans. Earlier Trump attacked Zelensky and said that he was a modestly successful comedian and a dictator without elections. Imagine, a modestly successful comedian Volodymyr Zelensky convinced the United States of America to spend $350 billion on a war that cannot be won, that should never have started, but which he, without the USA and Trump, will never be able to end, Trump wrote. In addition, according to him, although Russia attacked without reason, Zelensky said the wrong things. Russia could have been so easily dissuaded from this, the US president noted. In this case, groups opposed to President Donald Trump's agenda and his top advisor Elon Musk converged on cities across the nation to express outrage with slogans such as, "Not My President's Day," and "No King's Day." The rallies, led by the 50501 movement and other organizations, come less than 2 weeks after the last round of widespread rallies and street marches. We witness, with growing alarm, how our constitutional rights are trampled upon, how the authority of the president is being usurped by those who seek to consolidate power for personal gain, 50501 said in a statement on its website. Meanwhile, President Trump systematically dismantles the very guardrails designed to ensure accountability across the branches of government. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's White House friends list shrinks as tensions rise in peace talks. Best case scenario, he'll immediately leave for France. The always tense relationship between the two leaders has escalated into open hostility this week, the New York Post reports. While the deterioration in relations between Washington and Kyiv seems sudden, one source familiar with the White House discussions said, "This is nothing new to me. I've been hearing for months that it's time for elections and new leadership." A second source close to Trump agreed with the assessment and suggested that the best option for Zelensky and the world would be for him to leave for France immediately. Meanwhile, a White House official admitted that he doesn't like Zelensky because he bans churches. Former White House defenders of Ukraine, including National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, have echoed Trump's views to criticize Zelensky but say nothing about Russian dictator Putin. The US president's statements show that he wants the elections in Ukraine to take place as soon as possible, and for Zelensky to be replaced by someone more amenable to negotiations. This could be someone Trump and his allies trust, a military leader or a businessman, the publication noted. At the same time, sources noted that there is no obvious candidate that Trump would prefer. Presidential elections were due to be held in Ukraine last year, but were postponed due to the state of martial law Zelenskiy declared February 24, 2022, in response to the Russian invasion. According to the country's constitution, elections cannot be held under martial law. Tensions between Trump and Zelensky date back to 2019 when the then 45th president urged his counterpart to launch an investigation into the Biden family's dealings with Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma Holdings, which paid Hunter Biden a salary of $1 million a year while his father Joe Biden was vice president and leading American policy toward the country. Zelensky declined to launch the investigation but deftly navigated the ensuing controversy after the distribution of a transcript containing Trump's request, insisting he felt no pressure in that call, as congressional Democrats moved to impeach Trump for allegedly abusing his power. The European Union's top defense official on Friday said that the bloc plans to send a very strong message of support to Ukraine next week with a new aid package to mark the third anniversary of the war. According to Associated Press, EU Defense Commissioner Andrius Kubilius said that senior members of the bloc's executive branch were weighing how, in a very urgent way, to send a very strong message to Ukrainians and to the world that we are standing together with Ukraine. Top EU officials, including Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, are set to travel to Kiev on Monday. Von der Leyen and her commissioners will hold talks with Ukraine's government. With rumors circulating that the support might amount to tens of billions of euros, Kubilius said only, "I will not elaborate too much." But he did outline that it would involve, at the least, military support and reconstruction assistance.
So, welcome everybody to this press point by the European Commission. We are presenting
you as the EU Commission Vice President, Virkkunen.
Now we are discussing in Commission among different commissioners and our services about all the possibilities which would allow us in a very urgent way to send very strong message to Ukrainians and to the world that we are standing together with Ukraine. I hope that good occasion for such a message will be exactly third anniversary of the war, which comes next Monday. Now on the size, I will not elaborate too much. There are all the different, gossips and so on, hundreds and things like that. So let's wait till Monday. Really, we are going to very rational and very practical steps, not creating any kind of false expectations, and that is what we are ready to do.
I'm seeing very few concrete details in the press release. Can you give us some more details about what kind of equipment and resources?